Hello, hello, and welcome back for another trip through the fell foyers and fallow fields of Perfidious Manor in Darkest Dungeon. And even though the old fields may be fallow here at Perfidious Manor, I still managed to harvest a veritable bumper crop of new seekers last episode, bringing on board Man-at-Arms Anthony Masters, Houndmaster Steve Rogers, and Arbalest Catherine Bishop. And I got them all in one fell swoop. Now, I suppose it does remain to be seen if these new additions to the team will be the healthy, organically grown ingredients that we need in order to whip up a tasty serving of victory. But hey, you can't make omelets without breaking a few eggs, right? I mean, actually, you know what? No, I'm not sure that last bit made any sense at all, other than that it was food related. Although, in honesty, probably at least one of this new team is going to wind up more busted than Ronda Rousey after Holly Holm kicked her head off her shoulder, so you know what? Maybe it was appropriate. But still, Anthony Masters, of course, we're looking at the old Taskmaster there, the muscle mimic ability of his. Steve Rogers, because of course nobody had a loyal sidekick like Steve with old Bucky the dog there. And Catherine Bishop, because apparently the original Hawkeye wasn't ghetto enough, so they had to go ahead and make Catherine Rogers the uber ghetto Avenger. Yeah, you go get him there, Junior Avenger. Proud to have you on the team. If you're the ghetto version of Hawkeye, you should really consider maybe just packing in a whole superhero gig. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, let's head down to the old embarkation point. And hey, shit, Catherine Bishop, I mean, she has no powers and arguably is still at least as good as Misty Knight, so she's got that going for her. I think we will give old Superman here a day off. Old Clark Kent, we're going to give him a little bit of a break. Well, let's take a look at our missions first. What do we got? Crusader's Crest plus 10% max HP, not terrible. Get a Highwayman only, plus 2% crit, plus 5% stress damage, minus 3% virtue chance. That's not that good. Although we do really, really desperately need deeds, and that mission has 4 available. Portraits, not so much important. Ruins. Bullseye bandana. Arbalest only, plus 8. That's actually really good. I would very much like to get my hands on that, but that's a level 3 mission, and we don't even have a single level 3 trooper yet. Alternatively, we could go try out the Cove, which is a location I have never visited before. You don't eat food, you get 10% max HP, and you trade dodge? That doesn't seem that useful. Giving up 4 dodge for 10% HP and just refusing food. I'm thinking we're still going to go for the deeds, even though I'm not a huge fan of this stalwart buckle. But let's put together a team. I think we're going to give, let's just, everybody first off, bail out. Let's try out, I think we should go with some of our new team here. And, I mean, if we're going to go ghetto Hawkeye, Catherine Bishop, she's right in there. What abilities do you have? Sniper shot's pretty good. Suppressing fire I very much like. Sniper's mark is excellent. Bola is garbage. We would want to definitely replace that with Battlefield Bandage eventually, but we can't really do that with Catherine until she levels. So I think we're going to send the Bishop out here to try and grab that level. We should definitely bring old Misty Knight, so let's toss her onto the pile. Do I want to do this with all level 0 guys? No, I mean, we've got Misty Knight, should be fine. We should bring at least one other person on the team. Houndmaster, what abilities do you have? Well, old Steve and Bucky here. He's got the Hound's Rush, which is okay. I mean, it's not fantastic, but it's not terrible. It does huge damage against marked targets. Hound's Harry, which bleeds everybody. 1 point for 3 rounds. All right. Cry Havoc, which is a stress heal, very good. Plus 3, 65% chance to heal 3 stress. That's sort of terrible unless it hits the entire party. And Guard Dog, which is a self buff that gives bonus to dodge. That's actually quite good. Guard Dog is reasonable. You know what? Let's take old Steve and Bucky out here. I mean, Winter Soldier, it's coming out, right? I mean, like sort of the intro to the Civil War. All these abilities work from the 3rd position, so that seems fine. And you know what? Let's put the old Taskmaster at the forefront here. I mean, when you're talking jobber villain for just any random superhero to beat up, Steve, he's always there. Not Steve, rather, but Anthony. I mean, he's always there ready to take a whooping, right? That's sort of his bit. That's kind of his thing. We're going into the Wield. You know, I'm going to take 3 shovels just out of an abundance of caution. The Wield tends to have more thickets than anywhere else. We have a bandage. I'm going to bring 1 anti-venom, 1 medicinal herb, 1 key, and the rest I think we're going to go with, let's 10 torches. Yeah, seems fine. All right, team, let's do this. Into the wheel we go. The Taskmaster leading you into battle. Because, you know, he has a shield, which arguably, I suppose, Captain America could steal if things get dire. Really, Captain, if you're going into battle, would you rather have your shield or Bucky? I mean, we know which one you're going to say, because you're you, and it would be all about Bucky. You'd be like, oh, I'd trade anything for Bucky's safety. Even though probably the shield would be the thing that might keep you alive. We have to explore 90% of rooms, which means we can skip literally one, and this dungeon layout is not particularly forgiving. So let's get started. We're going to go down here. We can skip one room. To avoid a minimum of backtracking, it should probably be that room, really. Not sanguine about our chances. On the plus side, we are going to pick up quite a bit of extra food here, because I'm absolutely going to drop the medicinal herbs on this beast carcass. That's going to pick us up 6 extra food, which is very good, because we do not have an abundance of healing. Actually, do we have any heals at all, now that I think about this? We don't. Yeah. So, I'm dumb. That was definitely a mistake. Probably should have brought some actual healers along with this, because we got a lot of dungeon left to go. And, yeah, alright, we're really going to have to be powerfully winning every fight. This is not a fantastic start, although the surprise is very nice. Our stress is much higher than we'd like. 1 point per round for 3 rounds. So if this hits 3 guys, it effectively does 3 damage. That is not good. Hound's Rush does... You know what? Let's go ahead and... Let's get the buff out. We'll get the dog treat out. Plus 50% damage, plus 15 accuracy. And I think we're going to go ahead and get started. And we want to hit this guy. We don't want to be taking Blanket Fire, because Blanket Fire does an asinine truckload of damage. And I'm going to go ahead and bolster here, just to try and give us the advantage next round. Really, Riposte is going to be the key ability for the old Taskmaster there. We're going to go ahead and suppress. We'll give these guys a penalty. Suppression still does that, right? I believe it does. And I would love to kill this man in the back, but we just can't make it happen from this position. You know, it might be worth putting Mercedes Knight in the front and having our man-at-arms drop back one. Something definitely to consider. How much health have you got? I think we could probably take this guy out. We've got some beaten to deliver. We did get the surprise, and even with our speed boost, this guy still beat us. Wow, what's the debuff? Everybody has a penalty to dodge. That sucks. We're already starting to take unacceptable levels of damage, considering we have no healer. Everyone is already bleeding. We probably should have brought a healer. This is not good. All right, please kill this man. We can't take another Blanket Fire. It's too much. Blanket Fire, too much, too quick. Retribution will make everyone attack you. Or at least it will mark you and encourage them to attack you. I think we'll go ahead and do that. It does very little damage, but we are marked. Enemies are now going to attack us. When they attack us, we get a chance to riposte. Let's go ahead and Sniper's Mark this guy. It does no damage from this turn, but it will give bonus damage to our Houndmaster. And just keep piling on the bleeds there. 8 damage from Mercedes Knight, putting that bionic arm to work, and we got this guy bleeding 4 damage a round for 3 rounds. Picking up a little extra payback from the Taskmaster. He stole that move from Captain America, by the way, but I mean, it's sort of his thing. That's actually what he does. He steals his moves from Captain America. Let's go ahead and hit the marked guy. 9 damage, respectable, and Sniper's Mark then puts one right in that man's eye. The Arbalest still gets it done. Victory for us, but man, we won that one ugly. Exsanguination could be considered a virtue? I mean, I suppose that it could. It doesn't really seem like particularly virtuous to me. Why is stealing someone's blood virtuous, Wayne? I'm just going to address Wayne June, the narrator, by the way. I'm just going to call him by name. An unlocked strongbox. Well, contents are ours. What's inside? 4 deeds. So even if we have to bail out of this mission with no advantage at all, we still came out with 4 deeds, which is something. This hallway fight, I am not hugely... never mind. I was not happy about it at all, but considering what it turned out to be, I'm suddenly remarkably more happy. Slimes are not exceedingly difficult to beat, and we're going to take this one out. 4 damage crit. We are marked. Little stress relief. Enemy's going to be likely to attack us, which gives us the riposte chance. Not even going to need it, though, because that slime is completely slaughtered. Man, Misty Knight. I'm telling you, she doesn't have great powers, or arguably any powers, but that bionic arm, I I mean, she's got the physics behind her bionic arm figured out. We got to give credit where credit is due. She's got that pivot point. She just keeps the hand like narrowed down by her hip, and she just uses it to her advantage, pushes forward, and she lets the lever do the work. She's using science to help foment her victory. It's the way Tony Stark would have done it. I mean, it's the way Dad did it. It's the way America does it. And, I mean, it's working out pretty good so far. Do we have what it takes to dig around in a mummy's corpse? Is it anti-venom from mummy? I think it is. Nope. It's definitely bandages. Do we really want to have somebody dig? Ah, fuck it. Just get in there, Anthony Taskmaster. I mean, you're the... Ooh, treasures are encased within her remains. Oh, 500 gold. That's a pretty hefty little sum of loot right there. We are going to keep an eye on our light level. As we're backtracking, I think we may let that fall a bit, assuming there's no fight in here. Hopefully there is not. Good. All right. So we can skip one last room. This does result in more backtracking, which is going to pile on the stress, but we have taken care of everything along this hallway. So barring a surprise fight, we should be okay. Is there a reason you're calling a halt, Misty? I mean, you sort of are the leader for Heroes for Hire, which seems weird. I mean, I guess it would seem weirder were anybody but Heroes for Hire, because no one else would trust you to lead shit. I wouldn't follow you into water. But it is Heroes for Hire, so I mean, I suppose it's at least somewhat sensical. I don't know if we're going to be able to complete this one. We got a lot of this dungeon left to go. I'm feeling a little hesitant. We got not a lot of healing. We can't afford to use all of our food for healing purposes either, because we got enough dungeon left that another starvation prompt, or possibly even two, would not be out of the question. We definitely want to have our torchlight. I don't want to waste torchlight, so let's keep it 89. Alright, this is a pretty winnable fight. Surprisingly winnable, especially if we can take the ooze out early. Did we get to bleed? We did not. Ooze is remarkably bleed resistant, but that's okay. We're just going to kill him with straight up damage. And once again, Misty Knight letting the halberd do the work. Anthony Masters taking a little more damage than we might like. Another bump in the night. Pulled the dodge. That's good. The Taskmaster. See, this is where the muscle mimicry comes into play. I mean, you hit him once, sure, that's fine. You can get the hit on the first try. But after that, he's seen your moves. He's mimicked it. He knows what to do now. He knows how to stop you. Can't hit that guy. I think we just straight up go for the shot. Go ahead and put him on down. Another bump in the night. We got beat by a speed roll. On a speed roll by a skeleton, huh? Okay. Yeah, that's a thing. Well, we should definitely go for a little stress relief. Misty is getting a bit high. Oh, that does hit the group. Okay, that's actually a pretty good ability then. If that's a group stress relief, it's pretty solid. Success. So the Houndmaster, not overwhelmingly powerful offensively, but they're not disuseful, and we do have a chance for more food with these medicinal herbs. We need it. We need it. We got very lucky here stumbling across a pair of corpses. And that, you know, that's an unusual sentence to actually say out loud. Got very lucky stumbling across a pair of corpses there, but I mean, it's odd but true. We eat the food and immediately get a hunger prompt. So we have, at a maximum, 2 more food, because I guarantee we're going to get at least 1 more hunger prompt before we make it to the end of this dungeon. We have 2 more rooms to go. Well, 3. This one and 2 more. That's very yeah, it's not good. The surprise, very bad for us. This is the first time we have been surprised, though, so far, I think, in this playthrough. I don't think we've actually been surprised until now. Alright, so we definitely have to get a mark on you. We're gonna go with the Retribution, get 4 damage against the unit that hasn't gone. Beautiful, we got the stun. That's nothing shy of huge. That unit is stunned, so we've got some time. Let's try and pick off one of these Webbers if we can. Got a 1 damage bleed, which is not great. Our Arbalest can't do anything from this position, so she's just gonna drop back. Misty Knight, her stun goes away. Stun goes away on the final AI unit. I think we gotta go for the kill here, right? That bleed is not gonna murder that man. How much damage does this do? Does it do even 1 damage? You know what? Let's try the Hound's Harry. Oh, that's actually... Okay, so it did 2 damage and we got bleeds. Beautiful. That was just enough. Oh, very lucky. All right. Steve sent Bucky in. You know, he was a little hesitant at first. Didn't know whether he should be trusting Bucky. He's like, yeah, you know, Bucky's not great in a fight. I mean, I'm the super soldier and whatnot. He's just a guy who follows me around, even, you know, because I used to follow him around. Steve was lucky once, not lucky twice, though. Steve is blighted. Yeah, that's actually quite a bit of Steve's health. 2 damage per round for 3 rounds. All right, Steve. We're going to try and buff up your health totals because you're going to have to take that damage. We used our anti-venom investigating a rotted tree stump. You're right, Steve. No, it wasn't a very Captain America thing to do. We should have trusted you to try and keep the Taskmaster safe, but we didn't. Bucky's been doing good, though. Bucky the dog, that's good. You treated him like a dog. Well, actually, he kind of treated you like a dog. And Steve, it's hard to pick on Captain America. I mean, he's fucking Captain America. We have discovered a trap. Fantastic. We have, you know what, we haven't encountered a single barricade, so since we haven't encountered one and we brought a bunch of extra shovels, let's do a little grave digging. Captain America, again, gonna object, but hey, you brought Bucky back from the dead, Captain America, so I don't want to hear any bullshit about fucking grave digging. Bucky was dead. And in the Marvel Universe, he was sort of the one person who died that actually fucking stayed dead, too. There were really only 2 people you could count on to die and stay dead, and it was Bucky and Uncle Ben. And then, we're just gonna bring Bucky back from the dead, it'll be fine, no one will care. Rotted tree stump, worth the potential stress? You know, his is really low. I think so. Covered in poisonous sap. So the Taskmaster is not having a whole hell of a lot of luck so far. Yeah, your skin burns, it's fine. Didn't you see that one coming, Taskmaster? I mean, you've seen the tree sap trap before, right? You should have anticipated it and dodged. That's your whole thing, Mr. Muscle Mimic. Honestly, the Taskmaster has a shitty power. Let's all face it. He's not good. Taskmaster is not good. What does he do now? He, like, trains henchmen for other villains. Because that technically isn't a crime. The only thing we could get out of this is food, and I don't really want to risk taking the disease for food that we're not likely to need or even eat. So let's come here. We'll burn our last torch, max our light. We can get a refund for some of this food, but in case there's a fight in here, I'm going to go ahead and eat it. We've made pretty good cash on this mission. We're still coming out with a decided profit, and more importantly, picking up 10 deeds. And we totally wasted money because there was nothing in here. We should have just bailed. Sometimes in Darkest Dungeon, continuing to press your luck, sort of 80s game show style, is the right move. In this case, turns out, definitely the wrong move. We stopped on a whammy. But still, everybody walked away from the mission. We got quite a few deeds. All things considered, I'm calling that one a win. To resolve EXP for the Taskmaster, he picked up a Fear of Mankind, which is absolutely terrible. And also a Night Owl, which is by and large worthless. Wow, that's... okay, so we get a lot of shit. Lygophobia. That one, not really bad. Apparently Captain America is a little afraid of the dark. That's okay, Captain America. We'll put a light on your shield for you. We'll get you a nightlight. And Zoophobia. Catherine Bishop is afraid of animals. Extra stress damage versus beasts. Again, that probably not a deal breaker. Fear of Mankind really sucks, though, because we're going to tend to fight a lot of humans. Back to the old town, then. You know, we should have done some stress relief since we took out the B team. Oh, you get natural stress relief every time you don't go on a mission? That's a new mechanic, then. So you can get stress relief simply by not going on a mission. Very intriguing. That's a brand new mechanic, and I gotta say, I kind of like that. Just sort of relaxing at the manor gets you automatic stress relief. That's very handy. What did we unlock? Well, we've unlocked the Nomad Wagon, which we can use to purchase trinkets. Really got kind of a Doctor Strange sort of vibe here. It's a little Sorcerer Supreme action working. We're definitely not upgrading a Nomad Wagon. By and large, I'm not a big fan of the Nomad Wagon because the trinkets are ridiculously expensive.
At home in wild places,
our Survivalist. 27 crest. Well, I mean, the bonfire is good. Camping skills are useful, but I really think if we're going to invest in any troopers, our best investment would be to get people the skills we want. Which, you know what? Let's start that out. Let's get Ghetto Hawkeye, you know, feeling a little more Hawkeye-ish to me. I'm going to go for the Battlefield Bandage. Battlefield Bandage is an ability I think is fantastic, simply because it allows the Arbalest to, they combine well, they play well with others. I mean, unlike Hawkeye, who typically doesn't play that well with others. It's good, because they combo very well with another healer, but also can still do fairly considerable damage and have a pretty respectable debuff as well. So, yeah, I'm good with that. Catherine Bishop looking like a strong addition to the team. I'm not hugely familiar with the Houndmaster's additional abilities. Let's go see what he's got. Hound's Rush is okay. Hound's Harry actually seems considerably better than it was the last time I played. Target Whistle. Markets a target and lowers its protection. Very interesting. Lick Wounds is a 5-point self-heal. Not a huge fan of that. Blackjack does very bad damage. It's like a big... it's a stun. I'm still not a big fan of stun attacks, really. So I think we would go with Hound's Rush, Hound's Harry, keep the stress heal. Although Guard Dog does seem really good. It gives them plus 15 dodge and lets them guard their ally, which would allow other attacks to sort of miss, I think. Does this attack... do we have to mark the target for Hound's Rush? It does plus 60% damage versus a marked target. So we don't have to mark the target in order to get that bonus. Also does extra damage versus... you know what? I kind of don't think we need to switch anything. I sort of think we've got the right abilities here. Captain America, I mean, he is the perfect warrior, and in this case, kind of the perfect warrior. Bucky still needs a little work, but, I mean, you know, like any dog, you kind of got to work with them a little bit, get them trained up. Taskmaster, let's take a look at your other potential abilities. Bellow. You can give the enemies 5 dodge and minus 5 speed. That's sort of shitty. Considering it's the reverse of Bolster and has a chance to fail, it's, I mean, why would you ever take that instead of Bolster? Bolster just gives you 5 dodge and 2 speed. It gives the enemy minus 5 dodge. Oh, well, okay, there's why you would take it. It's slightly better because it has a bigger speed penalty, I guess. Honestly, though, I think you'd stick with Bolster just simply because it can't fail. Defender's real good. Retribution, Command doesn't seem especially useful. Guard Ally, though. Yeah, we have to pick that up. That's, I mean, Taskmaster, again, this really seems more like a Captain America kind of thing, but Captain America was one of Taskmaster's primary villains. I mean, he's fought the Captain quite a bit. He knows his moves. He's memorized them all. So let's go with Retribution, or Rampart, rather. I'm always going to call it Retribution because it activates, what, the Riposte ability? No, Rampart is the movement ability. All right, that's fine. So Rampart, Guard Ally, Retribution, and Bolster, all of which I quite like. I'm a fan of Man-at-Arms. They're pretty good. We should spend some cash. Also, we should see who else is potentially on the new roster. So there is an Abomination. We're going to absolutely increase the size of our hero barracks. There is no more important resource that we could get than Seekers. Nothing's more important than having a wide array of Seekers. What do Abominations do? Transform as human. Change to mode beast. Plus 20 blight resist, plus 10% damage. Other heroes stress plus 8 as beast. Self. Change to mode human. Lowers 4 speed, heals 5 hit points. Other heroes stress heal plus 1. Okay. Manacles. Does he have all of these abilities? 60%. So it does bad damage and has a chance to stun. That's not great. Beast Bile. Does no damage. It is a 2-point blight per round for 3. It doesn't seem that fantastic. Absolution. He's got a stress heal for himself, and he heals 4 HP. That's pretty good. Rake. Doesn't seem that great. Rage. Are these all beast abilities? These must be some kind of beast abilities. So it looks like he can only manacles in human form. Well, we got to figure out how Abominations at some point work. So you know what? Yeah, what quirks do you have? You're obsessed with material things and a mediator. Man, it's fine. You don't have crippling drawbacks, so let's pick you up. We'll give you a name next time. Right now, I'm going to wrap things up for this one, although, you know, Batman, he probably needs a little work. You know what, Batman? I think we got to get rid of your hysterical blindness here, buddy. You have tetanus, too. Where the hell did that come from, Batman? Alright, so Batman must have stepped on a rusty nail while freeing from the invisible Joker, I guess? Is that how that happened, Batman? I mean, geez, Bats. Clark Kent, yeah, his kleptomania is locked, which means we can't get rid of her, or at least it's going to cost an absolute fortune to get rid of. It's fine, we can deal with it. Does anybody else have anything we want to get rid of? Shocker and Meditate are both fine. Pamela, what do you got? Dark Temptation, not great. Hyromania, not really a big deal. Anybody else pick up anything that tuckered out is... God, your known cheat and ruminator are locked in. Ruminator is bad. Tuckered out is not a deal breaker necessarily. What have you got? Yeah. You know, honestly, I think we got to get rid of that. Fear of mankind is absolutely terrible. So let's go ahead and try to... 1,500 gold? That's expensive. Expensive, but perhaps in the long run worth it. Only time's going to tell. I mean, is the Taskmaster going to prove to be the solid investment that we made in his mercenary contract? Or are we just going to, you know, kick him out of the fucking helicarrier like Nick Fury did when he started training SHIELD agents? I mean, could happen. Might do it. If Nick Fury kicks you off the helicarrier, by the way, you know, Nick, why didn't you just kick him through the blades? It seems like that would have done the job. You kick him into the blades of the helicarrier, he's not coming back from that one. He's not coming back. He's going to be ground up. It's like basically a Taskmaster puree. You could whip him into a shake. It'd be fantastic. Anyway, I don't know. I'm just babbling. If you enjoyed the episode, feel free to drop a like down in the comment section. Of course, your support does really mean a lot. And if you'd like to see more Darkest Dungeon, including the ever-expanding cadre of superheroes alter egos, might consider subscribing as well. Post new episodes of Darkest Dungeon every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Right now, however, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.